Okay, so welcome to a 2023 award presentation. You know, I think this change we made last couple of years is perfect. We have a business meeting on Sunday, award presentation today, luncheon today, and then we won't have to crowd it into space on Monday, so it's wonderful. And this is a really important event for us because we're here to celebrate and recognize our members and our staff who's done some fabulous job. I want to start with the Gustav Linhart Award for Advancement of Healthcare. As I was about to say when I was told to stop, which is that it's been around since 1986. It's the oldest award we have at NAM. It started with the Robert Wood Johnson Foundation. And in recognition for outstanding achievement in improving personal healthcare services in the United States. I'd like to ask Clyde Yancey, a member of this selection committee, to join me on stage and present this award.
Victor, thank you. And good afternoon to everyone. What a joy to be a part of this celebratory moment. I am most pleased and honored to announce Robert Califf as recipient of the 2023 Gustav O. Linhart Award for the Advancement of Healthcare. Few contemporary medical professionals have singularly done as much to mold healthcare as Rob Califf. His pioneering role in establishing the randomized controlled clinical trial as the epitome of truth in clinical research and the cornerstone of evidence-based medicine is legend with a multi-generational impact. Dr. Califf's impact on healthcare is further and remarkably endorsed by his spirited and unwavering leadership of the Food and Drug Administration. His insistence on data integrity and his strident opposition to medical misinformation provide sterling leadership in the day-to-day cacophony of clinical medicine. I know Rob well. We often discuss our parallel but also distinct life experiences. He is a champion of diversity, recognizing such as a path for excellence, and he is an advocate for health equity, particularly in rural America, from Mississippi through the South to West Virginia and the Carolinas. With Lydia by his side, he stands true in the face of challenge, takes the lead when the direction is right, and enables the next generation by offering his gifts of wisdom, leadership, and brilliant scholarship. Healthcare in this country, perhaps even worldwide, is better because of the imprint of Rob Califf. It is indeed my pleasure to present the Gustav O. Linhart Medal for Advancement of Healthcare to my mentor, role model, and my friend, Dr. Robert Califf.
Wow, thanks so much, Clyde. It means so much more coming from you, too. One of the most memorable experiences of my career was an interview I did one-on-one with Clyde, where we learned that we were sitting on different sides in the segregated South as we grew up in high school. Integration just beginning to occur during my career in basketball and his career in sports and academics. 3 quick points to make. I grew up as a doctor, seeing patients, and learned very quickly that if we develop the evidence, we make sure the evidence is sound, and then we implement what we know, it makes a difference. And I'm sending everybody I know the 3 Washington Post articles from last week, if you haven't read them yet, about the decline in life expectancy in the U.S. Please read them because they make this point. Second point, everything I've done is really a community exercise with a lot of friends and supporters. Many colleagues are here in the room, but all around the world in global clinical trials. This is an infectious type of thing. I want to also thank Lydia. Clyde's already done it beautifully, I think, and she's been a real partner through all this. Final thing I just want to say, I'm very excited about the strategic plan, Victor. What we need is a magic sauce. All the ideas are there, but right now we're going the wrong direction in this country. And as the leaders of this country, we have to figure out how to redouble our efforts and make the difference. So thanks again.
Okay. Next is the Rhoda and Bernard Sarnet International Prize in Mental Health. This award's been given annually since 1992 to individuals or groups or organizations that have demonstrated outstanding achievement in improving mental health. You know, the Sarnet's concerned about the destructive forces of mental illness inspired them to establish this award. Rhoda passed away in 2018, and her husband Bernard passed away in 2011. Their legacy lives, and they lived through this award in the deeds of the awardees. And of course, this year we recognize really important awardees who's done so much work. I'd like McGinnis to come up to introduce this year's Sarnet Award.
Thank you, Victor. It's my honor and pleasure today on behalf of the chair and members of the selection committee, Peter McLeish, the chair, who was unable to be here, the other members including Ellen Frank, Richard Frank, Daniel Geschwind, who was last year's awardee, Ranga Krishnan, Michelle Monge, Eric Nestler, and is staffed expertly by Donna Duncan. It's my great honor to introduce the three recipients of this year Rhoda and Bernard Sarnet International Prize in Mental Health, Dr. Dennis Charney, Dr. John Crystal, and Dr. Husseini Manji. Their discovery of the rapid antidepressant effects of ketamine and identification of its efficacy for treatment-resistant depression led to the development of the antidepressant esketamine, the first mechanistically novel U.S. FDA-approved antidepressant in more than 50 years. Depression is among the most common medical conditions. It has a lifetime prevalence of over 20% of the population. At least a third of people who experience depression do not achieve remission even after multiple trials of standard medications. The groundbreaking research of Drs. Charney, Crystal, and Manji has the potential to be a lifeline for many individuals with depression who have not responded to other treatments. Dr. Charney is Anne and Joel Ehrenkrantz, Dean of the Icahn School of Medicine at Mount Sinai, and President for Academic Affairs at the Mount Sinai Health System. Dr. Crystal is Robert McNeil Jr. Professor of Translational Research and Professor of Psychiatry, Neuroscience, and Psychology, and Chair, Department of Psychiatry at Yale University. And Dr. Manji is Professor at Oxford University, Visiting Professor at Duke University, and Co-Chair of the UK Government Mental Health Mission. All three are members of the National Academy of Medicine, and each is also recipient of the prestigious awards from the Anna Monica Foundation, Brain and Behavioral Research Foundation, and the American College of Neuropsychopharmacology. This exemplary team's innovative research truly epitomizes the spirit of the Sarnet Prize. Please join me in congratulating Dr. Charney, Crystal, and Manji as I invite them to the podium. Thank you. Each will give a brief set of remarks, then move to the center of the stage to receive a plaque and medal. Then all three will return for a final picture.
Thank you. Thank you. This is just a wonderful day for us all. I want to thank the Awards Committee and the Academy, and I'm deeply honored to share this with my teammates, friends, and colleagues, Dennis Charney and Husseini Manji. I want to thank Matt State for thinking of us for this honor, my wife Bonnie here today, along with our kids Hannah and Samuel. This award recognizes a revelatory, inspiring, and deeply moving 32-year scientific adventure into consciousness, brain function, and the biology and treatment of mental illness. I look forward now to searching for the next generation of treatments because this work still needs much progress. Thank you so much.
So I'd like to add my thanks. One of the characteristics of the work that we have done is that the three of us are friends. We go back, John and I go back over 30 years. We had so many nights of thinking great thoughts, thinking out of the box. When we first made the discovery of ketamine, nobody believed it. The initial paper stood there for about 5 or 6 years until we had it replicated. Husseini did the hard work in getting it approved by the FDA. Thank you very much. It's been a pleasure. It's been a journey. I'd like to thank my family, my wife of 55 years, my 5 kids, my 8 grandkids, for letting me have so much fun in making discoveries. Thank you.
I'm really truly honored and humbled to be receiving this prestigious award with my friends and colleagues, Dennis and John. And I'd also like to take a moment to congratulate Rob Califf, Peter Hotez, and all the other illustrious awardees. I think everyone knows developing a transformational new treatment really takes the tireless work of an army of people. And in accepting this award, I must acknowledge my tremendous colleagues in industry, academia, government, and of course the mental health patient community. I'm also delighted that several of my colleagues from J&J and my wonderful supportive wife Pamela are here today. And I think this award really belongs to all of us collectively because it doesn't happen without the collective work of a whole bunch of people. I think most of you also know that in many other fields of medicine, the development of transformational treatments has led to a marked reduction in stigma. And I truly hope that's the case here because so many of our patients unfortunately face stigma, prejudice, and shame for what are truly biological conditions, and that should be unacceptable. And then finally, as John mentioned, the hope is that although developing new treatments for these conditions is very challenging, hopefully we've demonstrated that it can be done, and we'll see more interest and investment in this field. So thank you very much for your confidence in us. Thank you.
We're going to get a joint photograph together. Isn't it a great pleasure to do this? So the next one, which is the David Beatrice Hamburg Award for Advanced Biomedical Research and Clinical Medicine. This is a new award, the second time we've given this, because certainly in memory of David Hamburg and Beatrice Hamburg, when I first came to this job, I used to meet with David frequently, and I thought, wow, how nice would it be to make sure we recognize them. And so here we are, an award in biomedical sciences, but particularly relevant to clinical medicine. So it recognizes creative and accomplished biomedical scientists who are advancing health and human condition around the world. So as you all know, if you don't know, for the younger people, David Hamburg was president of the Institute of Medicine, my predecessor in 1975 to 1980, and Beatrice Hamburg is also an NAM member. So we have Peggy Hamburg here with us today, and certainly we really want to recognize the Hamburgs, as well as, of course, the recipients award. Now, Huda Zoghbi chairs this selection committee. She's from Baylor College of Medicine. Unfortunately, she's not able to join us today, so she'll present the award by video. But I do want to point out that, as you know, the winners are from the Baylor College of Medicine. So Huda was very careful to recuse herself from this decision. But that being said, she's a chair of the committee, and of course, guided this thinking extraordinarily well. So with that, let's see the video.
Good morning. This year, the David and Beatrix Hamburg Award for Advances in Biomedical Research and Clinical Medicine recognizes an exceptional team of researchers whose foresight, generosity of spirit, and creative determination have made one of the great public health interventions of our time. The Texas Children's Hospital Center for Vaccine Development, or CVD, develops vaccines for neglected tropical and infectious diseases such as hookworm and schistosomiasis. The team had been working on a SARS-CoV-2 vaccine since the SARS outbreak in China in the early 2000s. And by 2016, it was ready for clinical trials. But at that time, the team could find no one interested in funding it. Only when the COVID pandemic struck in 2020 were they able to garner funding from mostly private donors to the tune of a mere $7 million. One reason the cost of development was relatively low is that their vaccine relies on a safe, affordable, and effective recombinant protein-based technology. To ensure the cost of vaccination remained low enough to be used around the world, the CVD offered their technology to the Indian company BioE without taking a licensing fee for the intellectual property. BioE priced the vaccine called Corbevax at $3 per dose, and in December 2021, India granted emergency authorization to use it. Nearly 100 million doses have since been administered in India and Botswana and in Indonesia under the name Indov, produced with Biopharma. The team that developed the vaccine was led by Peter J. Hotez, MD, PhD, Dean of the National School of Tropical Medicine at Baylor College of Medicine, and Maria Elena Bottazzi, PhD, Senior Associate Dean of the National School of Tropical Medicine at Baylor College of Medicine. Please honor them as they accept the award on behalf of their large-hearted, prescient, and dedicated team. Thank you.
Peter and Maria, please join me up here.
Well, thank you. I'll say a few words, and then Mary Elena will say a few words. Before I do that, I just want to express gratitude to several important women scientists who've been extraordinary mentors to me over the years. One is Huda, of course, Huda Zoghbi, who anyone who knows her, her presence at Baylor is huge, and she's been a great friend and mentor. But so is Peggy Hamburg, who I've gotten to know very well since the pandemic. She's, of course, former FDA commissioner and the daughter of David and Beatrix Hamburger. And although I've never met her, I'm sure she would have been an incredible mentor, Beatrix Hamburger. For those who haven't seen it, there's a wonderful exhibit for women in science and STEM outside the exhibit hall. And of course, she was the first African-American woman graduate of Vassar College and Yale University School of Medicine. And her father was an extraordinary individual. And I don't know if I call you I guess you're sort of a mentor, Mary Elena. You're kind of, now she's my boss. She's, but we've worked together for almost 23 years with this idea of building a center making vaccines that the pharma companies wouldn't make, and there's no way we could have done this without Mary Elena. I mean, this was, first of all, too scary to do this stuff alone, and having Mary Elena, to bounce ideas off of and vice versa. It's been the most extraordinary partnership one could ever hope for. We started with a hookworm vaccine, which I began as an MD PhD student 40 years ago in Tony Cerami's lab at Rockefeller University and Cornell, which is about the right time frame it takes for a lot of these vaccines. And then a schistosomiasis and a Chagas disease vaccine. And then we started making coronavirus vaccines because they were orphaned as well. Nobody cared about it back then. And then when the COVID-19 sequence hit, we were able to turn that around quickly and prove that you don't have to be a big pharma company to do big things. And I think that that's really meaningful. And finally, let me just say, before Mary Elena begins, Victor, I just want to thank you and the National Academy of Medicine for another type of support. And a few years ago, I wrote a book called Vaccines Did Not Cause Rachel's Autism, about my daughter, to go up against what was then the major assertion, the phony assertion that vaccines cause autism. And I've had a front row seat to the anti-vaccine movement ever since. And that's been and now, of course, it's become politically motivated, and it gets scary. Now Steve Bannon publicly called me a criminal, which I thought was kind of interesting. I guess that comes from an interesting source. But having the National Academy backing, I just can't tell you enough, Victor, how important that's been. So thank you so much, Mary Lou.
Thank you. So much to say in less than a minute, but on a more serious note, thank you, Peter. 22 years of partnership. As a Honduran immigrant, I was very lucky to cross paths with you and share our commitment and bold goal to develop vaccines against neglected and emerging diseases. I'm very proud of what we have built together. It required a mix of confidence, perseverance, humility, staying energized when we got hit by a lot of failures. But it really required aligning with institutions such as Texas Children's, such as Baylor College of Medicine, even previously at the George Washington University, supporting our mission, relying on a global network of mentors and advisors. Many of you are here. Shout out to Maureen Goodenow, my PhD advisor, always here with me. And enlisting a strong and diverse scientific team and advancing collaborative science. So we did it. We did it because there is a common bond that holds everyone together at our vaccine center. That's solidarity. Solidarity and a moral courage and moral commitment and a shared vision that vaccines and vaccinations are essential to advance health and human prosperity around the world. So on behalf of our Vaccine Center scientists, we are really honored and grateful to be receiving this award. This is a big day for us. So thank you for allowing us to come together and celebrate the vaccine sciences. Thank you.
Actually a number of people told me yesterday, boy, you smiled throughout the whole day. I said, yeah, but I have a cutout that I can put up there. If they want photographs, it's a big smile all the time. But it's a personal pleasure to do this, of course. And now, please join me in welcoming Elena Fontes-Affleck, who will present the NAM Members Award. As you know, Elena is where's Elena? There she is. She is the Home Secretary and she's chair of the Member Awards Committee. Elena, come on up.
Thank you. I am so honored to recognize these exemplary NAM members. And before I introduce the first one, I would like to thank the awards committee members, several of whom are here with us, Doctors Margarita Alegría, George Benzerman, Maureen Bisogniano, Leighton Chan, David Relman, and all those who submitted nominations. Thank you for making our job so hard. I'd like to begin with the Adam Yarmolinsky Award. This medal is given to a member from a discipline outside of the health and medical sciences in recognition of distinguished service over a significant period of time. This year, I am proud to introduce Dr. Kenneth Olden as the 2023 recipient of the Adam Yarmolinsky Medal. Dr. Olden is Director Emeritus of the National Institute of Environmental Health Sciences and the founding Dean of the School of Public Health at Hunter College. He was elected to the NAM in 1994. Throughout his distinguished career, Dr. Olden has made seminal and lasting contributions in the fields of environmental health and justice, with a focus on underserved communities and children. Dr. Olden championed the creation of the Roundtable on Environmental Health Sciences, which highlighted these issues at a time when their impact was not well recognized. The NAM is now engaged in many activities related to environmental health. In the words of the nominators, Dr. Olden's leadership is characterized by an openness and willingness to explore ideas that could include the unconventional, to the unusual, to the unpopular. Based on his distinguished record of impactful contributions to the National Academy of Medicine, please join me in recognizing Dr. Kenneth Olden, the 2023 Adam Yarmolinsky Medal recipient.
I want to thank the Academy for this great honor. I also want to express my appreciation to the Academy for your role in my efforts to translate or to expand the concept of the environment to include social determinants of health. I was interested in incorporating not only go beyond chemical and physical agents, but to focus on social determinants such as economic and social factors. The Academy played a major role in some of its publications in helping me make that transition. I want to thank the individuals who nominated me for this award as well. And let me say I'm grateful to my family for their love and support over a large number of years, graduate school and research at various places. I'm extremely grateful, I think, most grateful for the opportunity to represent the working class Americans in the corridors of power here in Washington, D.C. That's the thing that has meant most to me. And I want to close with a thought, and that is, every time something horrific happens in America, we ask ourselves, is this who we really are? I want to remind you that we have a choice. We can change America. Thank you. All right.
Congratulations again, Dr. Oldham. The next award is the Walsh McDermott Medal. This is awarded to a member in recognition of distinguished service to the academies over an extended period of time. This year, I'm proud to introduce Dr. Edward Ted Shortliff as the 2023 Walsh McDermott Medal winner. Dr. Shortliff is Chair Emeritus of the Department of Biomedical Informatics at Columbia University and is a nationally recognized leader in this field. Since his election to the NAM in 1987, Dr. Shortliff has a distinguished and consistent record of service. He has served on numerous consensus committees, roundtables, the membership committee, and council. 30 years ago, Dr. Shortliff contributed to a report entitled The Computer-Based Patient Record, an Essential Technology for Healthcare. 10 years ago, Dr. Shortliff participated in a roundtable on the digital infrastructure for the learning health system. Given the integration of informatics into everyday clinical practice, the impact of Dr. Shortliff's work is widespread. Based on 3 decades of engaged and impactful service to the National Academy of Medicine, please join me in congratulating Dr. Ted Shortliff, the 2023 Walsh McDermott Medal winner.
Well, thank you, Elena. It was one of my early mentors, Bob Glazer, who first made me aware of the IOM. In 1970, Bob had been among that cadre of medical leaders who worked with the NAS and the NAE to create the Institute of Medicine. So it was both a thrill and an honor when I was elected to IOM in 1987. And in the subsequent 36 years, service to IOM and now to NAM, of course, has been a constant part of my professional life. It's been among the most rewarding of my various activities as a researcher and educator and clinician and administrator. Starting with Sam Thier, I had the opportunity to work with marvelous leaders like Ken Shine, Harvey Feinberg, now Victor Zhao. And whether sitting on study committees or serving as a chair, I have worked on reports that have broadened my knowledge. Well, at the same time, they've also been rewarding because they've informed and influenced others. I especially enjoyed my time on the IOM Council, and twice serving on the membership committee. I even had an opportunity to serve as the nominal MC at one of these annual meetings. So I thank the NAM and all its leaders and remarkable staff. My family, but all of them have enriched my life by offering me opportunities to serve in this way. And I thank all of you as well, who've been my colleagues through these efforts over the years. Thank you.
Congratulations again, Ted. The final award is the David Rahl Medal, which is awarded to a member in recognition of distinguished leadership as chair of a study committee and for demonstrating commitment above and beyond the usual responsibilities. This year, I am proud to announce Drs. Linda Freed and John Wong as the 2023 recipients of the David Rahl Medal. Dr. Freed is Dean of the Mailman School of Public Health at Columbia University. Dr. Wong is Executive Director of the Center for Population Health at the National University of Singapore. They are recognized for their leadership in the Grand Challenge in Healthy Longevity. Their report developed a framework to transform societal structures to achieve healthy longevity. Their approach included regional consultations and global workshops to represent the wide range of issues associated with longevity across a range of global contexts. Working diligently during the pandemic and at odd hours to incorporate their partners, The highly impactful report was issued in 2022. The plan has been implemented in Singapore and is being reviewed by other countries. As described by their nominators, Drs. Freed and Wong demonstrated a healthy and contagious optimism which guided the report. Based on their exceptional contributions to the Healthy Longevity Initiative, please join me in congratulating Drs. Linda Freed and John Wong, the 2023 David Rahl Medal recipients.
Elena, thank you. I guess I get to speak first, but jointly with my fabulous co-chair, John Wong. This is truly an honor. I'm really pleased also to have it be in the name of David Rahl, another eminent environmental and prevention scientist and director of NIEHS. It was truly maybe the opportunity of a lifetime to co-chair the NAM's first ever Grand Challenge with my great co-chair, John Wong, and to have the opportunity to create the global roadmap for healthy longevity, building on NAM's recognition that in the last 100 years we built collectively through societal investment the first stage of creating longer lives, and the second stage had to be adding health to longer lives for everybody. And to be able to offer a vision, the evidence and the roadmap of how to build on what societies have already created and create the next generation, I think also accords with NAM's commitment to bold ideas for transformative action. I hope and I think that we have been persuasive that creating an increased health span for everyone would power longevity to be a basis for all ages, society, and economies to thrive, and the costs of inaction are extremely high. The opportunity to lead for transformation, the creation of health for everyone was, of course, irresistible, and the membership of the Global Commission couldn't have been more superb. But I particularly want to thank Victor and NAM as a whole for brave vision and leadership on the major challenges and opportunities for health for our future. I want to thank my wonderful husband, Joe Margolick, who's here today and for the last 40 years, and to introduce John Wong.
Thank you, Linda, and thank you, Elena. I'm deeply honored to be a co-recipient of the 2023 David Rahl Award with Linda Freed. Dr. Rahl was both a cancer scientist as well as an environmental health expert. And I would like to thank NAM for dedicating its first Global Grand Challenge to realizing the benefits and opportunities resulting from age-diverse societies if the right investments and actions are made throughout the life course. You know, NAM reports have guided my whole career, and I was deeply honored, Victor, when you asked me to have this opportunity to co-chair with Linda. I would like to thank our fellow commissioners, the chairs and participants of our public workshops, inputs from global experts, NAM staffers, especially Dr. Maureen Henry, Ms. Emma Loa McSherry, Ms. Michelle Toplitz, and Ms. Samantha Chow, our reviewers, led by Drs. Joe Ivy Bulford and Eric Larson, the International Oversight Board, and all who helped disseminate this report globally. I would like to especially honor the late Dr. Tadahaka Tachi Yamada, my parents, my wife Jen, daughter Alex, and son Chris, and all who've inspired me in the power of science and knowledge to make this a better world for all. Thank you very much.
Please join me in congratulating our award winners once again.
And now the final awards of the morning, the Cecil Awards. Cecil Awards recognize staff who was founded in IOM, but we became the Academy of Medicine. We decided in the area of health and medicine, we should recognize the staff across the entire academies. So therefore, what we do is we select what is the most important work and effective work by the staff of NASEM. So, one thing I continue to be impressed by the caliber, as you know, of our staff, and they are a great pleasure to work with. So I'd like Mike McGinnis to come back again to come and present these awards. Mike?
Thank you very much, Victor. As Victor and others know, this is always my favorite moment of our annual meeting because we have such an extraordinary staff, and I know that most of the people in this room realize that by virtue of your work directly with them. The mission of the National Academy of Medicine for the next few weeks or so is to improve health for all by advancing science, accelerating health equity, and providing independent, authoritative, and trusted advice nationally and globally. For more than 20 years, as Victor noted, the NAM has recognized staff whose service has significantly contributed to progress toward the NAM mission. And its staff, as Victor noted, and I want to underscore, they come from across the academies. All 3 academies and all of the divisions are eligible and encouraged and actively engaged in nominating staff for these awards. The 3 awards are the Cecil Awards for Administrative Excellence, for Individual Excellence, and for significant contributions by a group or team, as well as the commemorative medal that is offered, and you see it here, the certificate that they received today. Each award is accompanied by a $4,000 grant. The first award, the Sandra Matthews Cecil Award for Administrative Excellence, is named after a longtime executive assistant to the presidents of the Institute of Medicine, and made possible by their contributions. And this award goes to Ilyana Espinal, who's Senior Membership Associate in the National Research Council's Executive Office. She was nominated by her colleague, Ann Martin, for her expert knowledge and skillful stewardship of the National Academy's membership database, and for her leadership, guidance, and accessibility in the implementation of the new Impexium database system this past year. And you heard Elena make reference to the importance of this database for our progress across the board, and especially working on our diversity initiatives. The Academies is extremely grateful to Ilyana for her work, typifies the purpose of the award. Congratulations. This year, the Cecil Award for Individual Excellence goes to Karen Helsing, who's Senior Program Officer with the Health and Medicine Division, for her 13-year commitment to critical studies, convenings, and publications, fostering important scientific progress in fields ranging from the preventive services for women, childhood immunization, and Social Security Administration and disability policy. And it's not just her longtime commitment, but anyone who knows passion knows it's defined by Karen. in everything she does. Karen was nominated by Professor Amy Houtro and also by her supervisor, Cheryl Nass. Cheryl is our superb board director for healthcare services within the Health and Medicine Division, and she will accept the award on her behalf. The commitment she brings to all she does is an exemplary tribute to the purpose of the award. Congratulations, Karen, and thank you, Cheryl. This year, we are pleased to present the Cecil Award for Excellence of a Group or Team to the Nursing Home Quality Report team. The team is led by Tracy Lustig, Senior Program Officer with the Board on Healthcare Services, and also includes Lorene Craig, Nikita Varman, Rushana Gupta, and Caitlin Friedman. The highly impactful national imperative to improve nursing home quality report came at a critical time to address the urgent need to improve care in nursing homes. In the words of one of their nominators, Betty Farrell, who was the committee chair, this team worked intently to build the evidence base for policy change, to ensure that the voices of residents and families were heard, and to include the experiences of staff in nursing homes. Despite working virtually for the entire study period, the team quickly bonded and collaborated effectively and produced significant guidelines for national and state health policy and raised the voices of vulnerable populations. Your work stands as an exemplary tribute to the purpose of the award. Congratulations and thanks. To have one more round of applause for all of our Cecil Award winners.
I told you it's a fun part of the whole meeting. It's my favorite. So, okay. Yes. So this is lunchtime. I know you know that. Your body probably tells you this. But I'd like to invite the Linhart, Senate, and Hamburg awardees and their families to immediately join us at the Members Center for photographs and for lunch. So we can immediately go first before everybody crowds you to say congratulations. So if I may, thank you. And this will actually adjourn this meeting. Thank you.